Today's date is May the 22nd, 2021. Thank you for tuning in to the Casual Highlight, where we strive to educate, inform, and inspire while having a casual conversation about sports. My name is Al High, and I will be your host on this edition of the Casual Highlight. Now, on today's show, video, I'm going to be giving Al High's first round picks of who is going to move on to the second round in the NBA playoffs. But before I get there, I do want to give a shout out to Nehemiah Greggs, the founder of Prayer Works merchandise. As you see, I'm wearing this t-shirt right here, PW Prayer Works. He has a dope merchandise at his website. His website is prayer prayer-works.com. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the link in the video in the comments below the video. All right, so let us begin. So before I get into my NBA first round playoff predictions, I do want to talk about some storylines that I'm looking at leading into the playoffs that I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to be getting my pot. In the great words of Terrell Owens, get your popcorn ready. I'm going to be having my popcorn ready on deck, and these are some of the storylines that I'm going to be watching for. So I got my little notes right here, my little iPad. Well, it ain't little, but it's big. So I got my little. I ain't gonna call my notes little, but I'm gonna give you some storylines. Number one, how will the big three for the Brooklyn Nets play? Now, the big three, for those of you all who don't know, that's Kyrie Irving, that's Kevin Durant, and that's James Harden. Out of 72 games this year, these three have only combined for, if I'm not mistaken, 8 total games that they have played together. Might have played a couple of more, but I think altogether, I think it's at least, maybe at most, 10 games. But at least it's not too many games that all three of them had played together. So my take out of this is I want to see what type of continuity do these three players can all these pieces come together for one quest of winning a championship. That's storyline number one. My second storyline that I'm looking at, and I've said this on social media, and I'm on some of my social media sites, and I'm going to say it again. I think the Los Angeles Lakers is the most intriguing basketball team in the NBA playoffs. The most intriguing. Why do I say they're the most intriguing? Because they are the defending world champions. There was a short off season where they just won the championship. They only had maybe like at most a month and a half to really recoup and rest and get in gear again for another season for a quick turnaround. They used to like 3 or 4 months, and you only get 6 weeks. So you wouldn't be. I'm not surprised that injuries built up. You have an older LeBron James. You have AD who gets injured. You know, it is what it is with AD. But when both of those guys were out, I mean, you tried to keep up production, but it's so important to have the king and the brow in your starting lineup. And it's the most intriguing because now both players are healthy, and they got healthy at the right time to get into the playoffs. And we just saw what they did against Golden State. Came up, LeBron James made a huge clutch shot near the end of the game, seeing 3 rims and making it, saying some BS. And, man, bro, you just made a shot. It was a good shot, bro. We ain't got to talk about how you seeing 10 rims, 3 rims, 2 rims over here, 6 rims over there, and 1 out. Man, listen, you just made a good shot. But they're the most intriguing team because defending world champions. In my opinion, I think LeBron James is still one of the top 5 best players in the world. You have AD who's getting better each year. You have a great bench. You have You have Dennis Schroeder. You have a great pickup in Andre Drummond. You have all these different pieces. You have depth on the bench of the LA Lakers. So they have experience. They have a ring. They're going up against number two Phoenix. Phoenix is a very young team, and if the Lakers get hot, look out. Look out. I was hoping. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I am going to say the Lakers. That's the team to beat right now, in my opinion. Right now in the West, I'll give you my thoughts and opinions about who's going to win the first round. But it would have been nice to see Golden State and watch the Lakers play Utah. Whew, I'm feeling for Phoenix right now, but we'll see what happens. Number three, which LA Clippers team will show up? Are we gonna see playoff P, or are we gonna see no playoff P? Which Clippers team are we gonna see? Now they did pick up. They had the acquisition of a Rajon Rondo, who is playoff Rondo, who has the hardware to prove it that he is clutch in the playoffs. He's very important in clutch moments. If you remember what happened last year in the NBA bubble and how his minutes in the playoffs and in the finals and his leadership helped the Lakers get over the hump to beat the Miami Heat. And it was his key assertion into certain game situations that helped the Lakers get on top. So I want to see what will the Clippers do. They've been talking all that noise about, man, we learned from the bubble. You had that major collapse where you were up 3-1 on the Nuggets. You had two 19-point leads, two double-digit leads in games 5 and game 6, and you lost both of them because y'all had so many distractions. You had lemon pepper Lou. You had all this foolishness. So now we need to see right now, will the real LA Clippers show up? And number 4, can the Miami Heat make a run in the playoffs? Now their first round matchup is the Bucks. It's gonna be interesting to see how the Bucks, what have they learned from their early playoff exit last year against the Heat. So we'll see. Those are my 4 things that I'll be storylines that I'll be looking for. Al High from the desk of the casual highlight will be looking for each night in the NBA playoffs. So with that being said, here are my first round matchup picks. I'm just doing the first round. When it's time for second round, we'll deal with second round, and we'll go from there. So here are my thoughts. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. All right, so we have the number 1 seed, the Philadelphia 76ers, who, by the way, Joel Embiid has been outstanding. This is by far the best I've ever seen Joel Embiid play from as a casual highlight sports fan. This is the best I've ever seen him in all the years he's been in the NBA. I believe it's going to be a close race between him and Steph Curry. Now, I think they'll give the edge to Drake's cousin, Steph Curry. Man, anyway, neither here nor there. But I think Joel. I've been quietly saying Joel Embiid should be the MVP for his dominant performances. But anyway, that being said, I got the Sixers over the Wizards in 6 games, 4 games to 2. Really, I believe it could be a sweep. Just give it to Joel, let him dominate, let him do his thing. But I got Sixers 4 games to 2 over the Washington Wizards. Nets Celtics, it's going to take a Herculean effort from a Jason Tatum and a Kemba Walker to upset these Brooklyn Nets. Tatum is going to have to have 50 points a night. Kemba Walker is going to have to drop 30. It's not happening. You have no Jaylen Brown, and I'm going to go ahead on the record and say this right now. They miss Gordon Hayward. I think Gordon Hayward, even even if he wasn't worth the max money, you still probably could have got 10 or 15 points, and it would have been a glue guy to help out in that starting rotation. So I think they hurt without Gordon, and then a lot of injuries. I think they're going to be tough. They're going to give the Nets a little bit of run and try to, and with Marcus Smart and the other guys of the Celtics they're going to try to bully the Nets try to, but it's not happening. It's too much talent with the Nets. That's going to be it's going to be over in 5. I got the Nets 4-1. The Bucks Heat, I do believe. I like the Heat. I like Jimmy Butler. I like the lunch pail mentality. I like Tyler Hero. I like Bam Adebayo. I like their lunch pail mentality. I like Duncan Robinson. I love the shooters of the Miami Heat. I love it. I wish Victor Oladipo was playing in this series, but he's not playing in this series. He's out for the rest of the year with the knee injury. I think that would have gave the Miami Heat a little bit more juice, but I'm going to go with the Bucks, and I'm saying this in 7. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna say this is gonna be a tough first round series. I'm going with the Bucks in 7 because I got to give credit to where for me to say the Heat are going to lose in 5, maybe 6 games. No, that's not doing the Heat justice. I think Bucks will pull this out, but it's going to be a rugged 7-game series. I think the improvements of the Bucks with that Jrue Holiday trade, with Chris Middleton back, you have Giannis, you have. I think their mind is there right now. I think the Bucks have too much firepower right now, and nobody's been talking about them either. Everybody been talking about the Brooklyn Nets. Hey, what Kyrie gonna do? Is Kyrie gonna show up and play? Is Harden gonna be there? What's Durant gonna do? Man, we know Durant gonna be there. We know James gonna be there. Where Kyrie at? Hello, somebody. But anyway, Bucks 4-3 over the Heat. The Knicks and the Hawks. These are probably two of the most exciting up and coming young teams in the NBA. If I had a quarter, I didn't flip the quarter because a 4 or 5 matchup you could flip a quarter for the heads, for the 4 seed, tails for 8 for the 5 seed. I went with the Knicks on this one, even though Nate McMillan took over this Hawks franchise in the middle of the season, has turned the ship all the way around, and they've gone to a different level since Nate McMillan has taken over. Could in some circles be coach of the year, but he didn't coach the whole year. He wasn't the head coach the whole year, so you can't give that, you can't put him in that category. But some people might. I'm not, because he just came as the interim, but he did his thing. He got the team in the playoffs, and he's going to be there for a while with the Hawks coach. But I think Tom Thibodeau, the job that he's done in New York, the resurgence of Derrick Rose, not just this year, but the last several years. And Derrick Rose is a better jump shooter. Man, he's a floor general, a floor leader. You have Julius Randle. You have the improvements of Quickly and the other players. Man, the Knicks, New York coming back slowly but surely. The Knicks are coming. So I got the Knicks. I flipped a quarter in my head, not physical, but I flipped it in my head. I said we'll go Knicks 4-3 over the Hawks. Let's get to this Western Conference though. All right, so we got the Jazz and the Grizzlies. I got the Jazz winning this series. On my notes, I had them winning the series over the Grizzlies 4-2. I'm really seeing this as 4-1. Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, but Mike Conley, he don't get the credit that he deserves. Let me say his name again. Mike Conley. the floor general, Mike Conley, will be the difference in this series. Not Donovan Mitchell, but how Mike Conley helps his team and puts his team in situations. And they got a revenge factor too because they were up on the Nuggets 3-1 as well and lost the series. So I have the Jazz in 6. No, Jazz in 5 over Memphis Grizzlies. Great year, Ja Morant. Very exciting young team. Dillon Brooks. Y'all just need some better jump. Y'all need to work on your jump shot. But you make the shots when you need to make them. But that young team, they're coming. They're getting better. I think they're about 1 piece away, 1 or 2 pieces away. But the Jazz are seasoned. Jazz 4, Memphis Grizzlies 1. Blazers and Nuggets. The most disrespected team, the most disrespected player in the Western Conference. I got a beef about this right now. My man Dame Dollar does not get the credit that he deserves. Probably him and CJ McCullough, probably one of the most underrated backcourts in the NBA. More people talk about Steph and Clay than they talk about Dame and CJ. Probably the most unappreciated team in my eyes. The most underappreciated players: Dame, CJ McCullough, Carmelo still got it. Carmelo still got game. We forget about him. Matter of fact, why is Dame not a finalist for this MVP race? What's up with that? I got a bone to pick with that. Dame should be a finalist for the MVP. So he's gonna take it out on the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets I got the Blazers winning this series in 7. I got them winning this in 7 though. It's gonna be a good series, but I got Blazers in 7. 4-3 over the Nuggets. Clippers Mavs rematch from last year in the first round of playoffs last year. See the Clippers was playing around with them. I thought in the Mavs gave the Clippers a good series from my eyes. Kristaps Porzingis, and if Kristaps Porzingis can learn how to get in the post and really bang and go work out with Joel Embiid for the summer and learn how to bang and stop trying to hit these jumps, trying to hit these 3-pointers and be like everybody else. No, get your body in the post. Come out maybe 10 or 15 feet from the hole, and man, if you get like a little jumper, like free throw line, extend a little bit like that, man, stop hitting these threes, bro. Get in there and bang with somebody. Kristaps. But I like Luka though. I like Luka's game. I like Tim Hardaway's game. I like Coach Rick Carlisle's. But I got the Clippers. Not because of so-called allegedly playoff P. Allegedly. There's a playoff P. Allegedly. But not because of Kawhi Leonard. Not because of DeMarcus Cousins or Tyronn Lue. But because of that bad man, Rajon Rondo. I got the Clippers 4-2 over the Mavs. And last but not least, the most intriguing, interesting team in the world, the LA Lakers versus the Phoenix Suns. Now, this one was a difficult pick because I'm thinking to myself like, this is Chris Paul, this is Devin Booker, this is DeAndre Ayton, this is Monty Williams, the coach. Coach will probably be the unanimous coach of the year. I'm going up against the King. It's hard to bet against the King. It is hard to bet against the King. Somebody, I want y'all to think about this. When was the last time LeBron James lost in the first round of the playoffs? Was it in Cleveland? I don't even think it was in Cleveland. When it was in Cleveland, they the first 2 years when he was in the league, they didn't even make the playoffs. When he was in Cleveland. I'm going with the Lakers. I don't like the Lakers. I'm not a Lakers fan. I mean, I say I don't like the Lakers. That's kind of strong. I'm not a Lakers fan. Put it like that. I'm not a Lakers fan. But you don't bet against the King and AD. Barring some crazy stuff, I got the Lakers winning this series against the Suns 4-3. And I'm going to be honest, I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, but I'm sticking with my pick right now. Lakers 4, Suns 3. Listen, my name is Al Hyde. Thank you for tuning in today. Listen to my first round playoff picks. Listen, follow me on Instagram at Al. My last name is spelled HYGH. That's Al High, and then the word digital. Follow me on there, and also follow Casual Highlight Show. That's casual_highlight. That's HYGHLIGHT. Until next time, remember, God is love and disrespect your senses.